Welcome to the Cars and Cancer podcast. I was craftily trying to eat a custard cream and got caught out. Gents, this is episode 27.
20, wow.
27, that's right, yeah. And I think we started around about this time last year, didn't we?
Yeah, it's got to be. If you're on 27, we missed a fair few weeks as well. Yeah.
Just because we're just high flyers, we're jet setters, we just got such hectic lives.
I like the jet setter.
Yeah. We've managed 27 so far. Well, hopefully we'll manage this one. I thought it might be just a good idea just for us to if anybody's tuning in for the first time, just to let them know about why we're here and what it's all about. I mean, if somebody stumbled across us. Does anybody want to have a go? Or I'm happy to.
Yeah, crack on, mate.
Okay. So there's three of us here. Aid, Andy, and Darren. But I should call you Andrew, shouldn't I? Because I'm the only person in the world that calls you Andy. Yeah. Okay. So there's me, Andrew, and Darren. I can't do it. It's Andy. So it's me, Darren, and Andy. We met up in 2018. We met at a Macmillan. I think it's a kind of a counselling group, and it was for people who had been through cancer, and it was an opportunity just to talk about just getting on with life after it, really. And so there was a group of us. I think there was about 6 in total, and the 3 of us have stayed in touch ever since. We found out that we've all had different cancers, and obviously mine was more serious than any of yours, of course. But no, you know what I mean? We've all had very, very different cancers, and cancer has affected us in many different ways. And I think when you're diagnosed with cancer, you can just imagine it's the end of the world, and the worst is going to happen. And I think what we're trying to say is that's not the case, and actually you can come out the other side, or you can go through life fighting it, and there is hope and there is light, and there are some positives that came out of our time together, because at one point we'd all beaten it, hadn't we? We'd all beaten it, and we'd given it the big it does rear its head back every now and again, but we've been quite successful with it, and we just wanted to sort of portray to people that it's not the end of the world, and also give people a bit of an insight into our experiences, and hopefully they can help others. But we also love cars, and hence the logo. It's called Cars, and then we've got the ribbon in there to symbolise the cancer logo and stuff. And I think the purple is to do with a particular type of cancer. I think it might be lymphoma or something like that. But really, it's just an excuse for the 3 of us to talk bollocks for an hour, isn't it, really? Let's face it.
If there's a good reason to do that, I can't think of a better one not got.
We don't get many viewers, but we enjoy getting together when we can.
Definitely.
And if it provides a bit of entertainment for somebody, if somebody wants to waste an hour of their time listening to us, then we appreciate it. But at the end of the day, it's for our own mental health as much as anything. So
definitely.
I think that sums it up a bit, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, mate. Yeah, well said. Yeah.
Thank you. So Darren and I are in remission, and we've been in remission for quite a while now. Unfortunately, Andy, you're on your 3rd round of the dreaded C word, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
And you're going through chemo that you can take from home. You take tablet form and whatever. And I think are you still in your round of chemo at this moment, or are you done now for this round?
This is my last round tonight.
Yep.
Of my 13th chemo.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to do 24, which is double what I first thought it was.
Yay!
Yeah. So done with that.
So how's it going then? How's this round going?
This is going a lot better than last time.
Yep.
Everything seems to be going to plan. Got a little bit. I'm on the lower dose. I don't know why, but they put me on the lower dose, probably because my bloods aren't behaving. So as bad as it normally is.
Mhm.
So obviously, I've got no energy to do anything, but I don't feel sick all the time.
Yep.
So that's going with the lower dosage. That's what it does. I need to have a meeting with Dr. Bott to see why I am doing the lower doses, not the higher dose. See what she says.
Yeah.
But when I had my chemo last time, the doctors and the junior doctors were on strike. So I had a random doctor ring me up who I didn't even know. So yeah, not very good, but he did.
No, you can't get the answers you're looking for then, can you?
No. So I did tell him about all things happened last time. I said, yeah, okay. Couldn't give me anything more than what I was asking for. So
Right.
I had to take different precautions this time, and they're working. So all good.
Right, great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
what about any future appointments to see your consultant again? As
So
scans or results? And
I was due to have a scan, but he said you were due for a scan, but nobody put it through, so we're gonna have to put you through again. Like,
okay. Yeah.
so Kelly rung Catherine the next day, and we've decided we want to do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, every 3 months, but it's gonna be every 4 months this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Darren. You are
I was
slowly.
going to say, keep us posted on that one. Let us know when it is then.
I will.
Andrew.
Yeah. As soon as I know,
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Because you are slowly winning this, aren't you? By the looks of it, because you've had 3 month intervals, and now they've laid it out for 4, which kind of suggests that I don't know that it's going in the right direction. I imagine if there was more of a concern, they would be closer together. But
Well, I think it's just because nobody put it through that I needed one.
Okay.
That's the only reason I'm putting it down to. But I should have a scan every 3 months so I can see. This time it'll be 4 months, so hopefully it should have gone down a little bit more. But I don't know if you're doing lower dosage. I don't know whether it will or not. I'll have to wait till I see the results from the scan.
Right. Yeah.
So when you say a scan, Andy, what is that? What kind of scan do you have?
So I have to go for where they can find my vein.
Yeah.
I have to go in hospital and they scan it and they find it, put me an intravenous in, and then an hour later I go for my scan, and then they put a dye in.
Yeah.
And then I see it on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And see
so what scan is that though? Is it a CT? Is it I can never remember what they all are.
It's an MRI scan.
MRI scan. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I haven't had many CT scans, but I've had plenty of MRI scans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Polo? Is that the Polo?
No, that's a CT scanner.
Yeah.
MRI scan is when you put a cage over your head and then you go in and they scan on what they want to.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. You put headphones on and earplugs and with the thing over the face. Yeah.
Cool. So, how do you feel about those scans? Because I know some people can get quite claustrophobic about those sort of things, can't they?
Yeah, my brother, he was due for a scan, one of the MRI scans, and he couldn't do it. He said, I can't sit in there for that long. So
wow.
He did it. Yeah. He pressed the button and they put him out. He said, I can't stay in there for that long. So they booked him again and he went in again. He went in with his missus.
Yeah.
And he said he pressed the button, he couldn't do it.
Wow.
He just can't do it. He can't do blood injections, can't do anything like that.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
No. But you look at him and you're sort of saying, oh, good sized bloke, farmer.
Yeah.
But can't do anything medical.
Well, you say that, it's surprising sometimes when Jackie comes over, because she's a phlebotomist as well as like taking blood. And she'll say some of the people come in and they're absolutely terrified, and it isn't the people you'd half the time expect.
Yeah.
They like that. They can come in and get big sort of hefty blokes come walking in there. They're like, they struggle getting blood out of me on that side, and they struggle on this side, and they're like, right, make a fist, and they're really anxious and pumping their. I said, don't keep pumping your fingers, just make a fist and just sit there and relax. And then they keep moving their arm away. They're terrified of it, absolutely terrified. He said, some of these people said, try to really make like 3 misses. They're huge.
Yeah.
And she said, it's only a tiny little scratch going to feel, you know. And so you can see the sweat on them.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Incredible, isn't it?
And she's like, well, don't look at it, look the other way.
Yeah. I think probably with our experiences in hospital and things, we've kind of you become used to it in a way, don't you? Really?
Yeah.
You do, yeah. It just becomes the norm, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Oh, we need to take your blood. You know, we need to.
Yeah.
You know, you need to scan you for this. We need to do that. You need to take this medication and stuff. And I suppose it's you forget what it was like when you first went through that treatment. That you didn't know what was happening. You didn't know how you were going to feel, and it was terrifying. But somehow your body just seems to normalize it and go, oh, it's just another CT scan or it's just another scan like that. And
it does. And I think when you've had certain degree of kind of things that really hurt and pain, you've got a different outlook. Your threshold's totally different, isn't it, afterwards? When they come and say, oh, you're going to feel a bit of a scratch, well, this is going to sting, you think, yeah, okay, it can't be any worse than what I did before. And when they do it, you don't switch off from it. I had some blood tests done last week, and I'm still waiting for some results to come back from them. And but it was just like, yeah, okay, which arm? That'll do. I'm just chatting with my wife, did it? Whereas before, like when you don't have it done regular, you think, oh, well, it comes.
Yeah.
When I was in hospital, I had a shunt put in here. It's a big job, and I woke up and I was all covered in bruises, and I couldn't breathe. I was like, look, nurse, I can't. I'm not fully big. I can't breathe. I wouldn't be able to run a marathon. I can walk, but not very far. And then after, I couldn't walk any far without a stick. So I went home, and then I come back in and said, look, I don't think you fitted this shunt right. And they're like, well, you know. So they scanned me and they fitted it wrong, and they punctured my lung.
What?
I was like,
oh, gee.
I couldn't breathe. I kept telling the nurse I'm struggling to breathe. She said, oh, it's fine. You'll get over it. And then when I went in, they gave me a piece of paper and they said, we punctured your lung and we fitted it wrong. So then I had to go and put it in again, and they put it in the right place. And then I could walk.
Because it impacted that part of your brain then?
Yeah, and I physically couldn't move my legs. I had to use a walking stick to walk to the toilet and stuff like that. And then when I went back in, they scanned me again and they put it in the wrong place. Yeah. And I had it done again, and you could see it was in the right place.
Do you know what's really bad about that, Andrew, is the fact that they've done it. You've told them all these symptoms that are happening, and they're basically just, that'll be all right, you'll get over it. That's probably the worst part about it, because as soon as you you start waving the flag that something doesn't feel right, you think, hold on, we better check out why is he feeling like this, because they must know that's not the norm.
But with it being
and they just sort of brush it aside.
A brain surgery sort of ward, I just don't think that they listen to what you're saying, because obviously it's with your brain and you don't really know what's going on. I'm like, I can't breathe, Kat. I'm struggling to breathe here. And when I went back, it punctured me lung.
Freaking hell, we're supposed to be making light of this cancer thing, and now you're saying stuff like that. Bloody hell.
Why do you really say that though? When I had to go down, and they did the op to put the rig in, my feeding rig in my stomach, and basically what they do is they cut a little cross in your stomach, which is where they're going to make the hole, and then they get this thing, make the hole into your stomach. They put this tube in. They then pull that goes into your stomach. They then pull that back, which lifts your stomach from the inside out to your skin, and they use a stapler and they staple 3 staples around it to staple your skin to your stomach, basically, and then pull the line back through and then stitch it up. So they do this while you're awake. So they was prepping me to go into to have surgery done, to have it done. Gets in there, it's come to put the Carolyn, and she was taking ages doing it. I said, I don't think that's right, is it? And it started to swell up. So she took it out and put it in the other arm. Okay, she'd obviously done something wrong. Whatever she put in there, but hadn't gone in the vein. And the arm started to swell. It was really getting painful. So she swapped it, put it in the other arm. She then changed it. Oh, that's okay. That'd be all right. That was. So anyway, so I'm going into theatre, and then they prepped it all up, put all the orange goo around you and cleaned you and that, and they're chatting away. And there was the two there. The one of them was training to do the procedure. The other one was the consultant that was training them. So I'm laying there thinking, I'm not very confident about this because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's being trained, isn't he? But I thought, well, that aside, they've all got to learn somewhere. So, and he's got someone with him. So anyway, so I'm laying there and he says, oh, right, give him so many milligrams of this, which he's supposed to know it. So he injected the area and give you this. And he said, you're going to start feeling a little bit drowsy. I said, yeah, this is my 6th operation. I know kind of the procedure and that's fine. Yeah. You know, so like, oh, okay. So anyway, so he's up there, so he's getting all ready. He says, right, are you feeling a bit drowsy now? I said, no. And then, oh, we will work. Just give you a few more, another couple of minutes. And they faffed around doing something else. And he's getting everything ready. There's something looking up there. So he said, right, that's you a bit, now, you know. So he said, do you feel a bit drowsy? I said, not really, no. So I lay there and he started to do it. So I felt this thing get pulled. And then I moved my left arm and she said, you're okay? I said, no. I said, that hurts. So they injected me stomach again. Carried on doing what they was doing, and then I felt this pull on my stomach, and then it, like a clicking noise, and then it sort of bangs afterwards when the staple thing goes in. And I just said, for fuck's sake. And I said, I can feel everything you're doing. And I said, oh, I'm not going drowsy. So he told me to put some more stuff into the things that make me go a bit drowsy. It couldn't be going in properly because it had no effect on me whatsoever.
Oh, geez.
And I felt every single bit of what they did. Every single bit of it. I was absolutely. I said, oh, you done ever so well. I said, that was horrendous. I said, I could feel everything what you was doing. And again, they wasn't listening. They didn't say, hold on a minute, we need to make sure. Why isn't he going drowsy?
Yeah.
No. That was the start of a very, very bad experience in that hospital. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to start this quite optimistically, but it's going downhill pretty rapidly.
Not that out of the window, mate. Yeah, doing that. Not as well. That's it. No.
Yeah. Well, what
podcast for a few weeks, so we both thought we'd get in there quick and fetch it back to basics.
Shall I show you my rash? No, I better not. Better not show you my rash.
Depends where it is.
No, I'll keep that for what? Is it gone 9 o'clock yet? No, it hasn't gone 9 o'clock yet. So there you go. You say.
Right, do it about a minute past. Do it about a minute past 9, then, Dave.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We might get internet problems at that
just
point.
When it runs out.
So, well, yeah. I suppose on the theme of things not going well. Well, we didn't do the podcast last week, and. Well, in a nutshell, I lost my job on Thursday. It just didn't work out with me at the last employers. It was, I was just laid off. So I am unemployed, gentlemen. I am unemployed. I am a bum. I am scrounging off the state. I'm not scrounging off the state because I've still got my wages, but it's a really weird feeling. I tell you, really. Weird feeling to know that, wow, you haven't got a job and you're the main breadwinner for the family. God, bloody hell. So it was a bit of a shock on Thursday, and Friday I was a bit sort of I didn't really know what to think, but it's Monday. It's the Monday after now, and I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic now, and I'm trying to see it more as an opportunity. And it's easy to think, oh, this is terrible and stuff, and it is stressful and it is worrying. But I'm trying to see it as an opportunity to, okay, that hasn't worked out. Now's your chance to go and do something else. Go and find something else that might be better for me. I mean, the people that laid me off, they were really nice actually about it, to be honest, and they've made sure that I get my wages and stuff and that kind of stuff. And they were really nice. It just didn't work out. It wasn't quite right for me. So every morning I get up just like I would for a job, and I start job hunting. And
Right,
Did
did you have no idea that was going to happen, though? Was it completely out of the blue, or did you have an inclination?
I'd kind of, there was their expectations of where they wanted me to be and where to progress to, and I wasn't getting to that point, and I was just finding it really difficult. I found it was a bit more technical and a bit more complex than I thought it was when I joined. And it was just probably a step too far for me, that particular role. It was a new profession, it was in a new area, and I had a go and I gave it my best shot, but I think also as well, I didn't develop a passion for it. I wanted to, and it never quite happened. And I think if you haven't got a passion for something, everything's twice as hard, isn't it, to sort of work my way through?
Yeah, I think it is, mate.
And so so I'm unemployed now, but I'll find something. I'll be knocking on your door with your Asda deliveries, or actually other supermarkets are available. But yeah, I'll find something to do. And but yeah, like I say, a bit scary on Thursday, feeling a bit better about it now, and I'll find something. And it's just not, the thing is, it's just not to get desperate. It's not just to think, oh right, here's a job that comes up, take the first job. You've got to it's getting that balance right. I need to wait for job offers to come in and that kind of thing, and pick the right one and stuff. But I'm sure I'll work it out. It's just something I'm not familiar with. I'm not used to being unemployed. I don't, it's
no, it's a bit of a weird feeling, isn't it? It happened to me many years ago. That was from I can't think of. I think it's when local shoes finished. I think when we got laid off from there. The factory basically just shut down. So I've never ever lost a job before. I've always just left it, and they said, "Oh well, if you want to come back, you can." So I've always kind of finished when I wanted to finish before. And then I remember going down to see any help I could get while I was looking for work. So couldn't find anything, and we had the mortgage and what have you, and it was like, well, we can't really help you until you've been out of work for 3 months. I said, in 3 months' time, I probably have to be house repossessed. So I need your help now, not 2 months' time. And I ended up just getting up and saying you're a complete waste of time, and just walked out. So yeah, it wasn't not a very nice place to be when it first happened, especially when it's never happened to you before. Yeah, it's all new territory, isn't it?
Yeah, because I've always been told, if you want a different job, you've got to sorry, I'll rephrase that. You don't leave a job until you've got another job to go to. You should always just have something lined up, and I've always tried to plan ahead and things. And it's just a little bit ahead. Just caught me out a little bit, but I'll be fine. I'll be absolutely fine. I mean, look, with a body like this, I'm bound to make a few quid. Get myself on OnlyFans or something like that. I could have my own channel. Obviously, I don't know what's on OnlyFans, but maybe you could tell me, Andy.
Just don't let them see the rash, mate.
£20 and you can see the rash. There you go. I'll be okay. I'll be all right. How's things otherwise, gents? How's things otherwise? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's all right. I'm having some tests on at the moment because I've got this. They don't really know. I don't think they're connected. I've got the problems in my neck, which seem to be getting worse, and they think it could be the radiotherapy damage to the muscle tissue. Because the pain's really bad, and it's getting to a point now where when you come out of the junction, you turn my head, and it really hurts on my neck, and I'm finding I'm actually twisting my shoulders, my body around, rather than just turning my head looking at traffic. So it's definitely getting worse, and it's causing a few sleepless nights. But my right hand keeps on swelling up, and my knuckles are all really hurting in the right hand. Mainly the right hand more, but it's all my joints it started in, and the shooting pains in my fingers. But I don't know whether it could be.
Is it all stemming from your neck then? Is it working its way down?
I don't really know, mate, because I've got it in my left. It's in one of my fingers in my thumb on my left hand, but in my right hand it's on every joint. All my joints in there, but the knuckles are quite swollen. It looks like when you see people and they've been doing it, or they've hit something hard and then they get a swollen hand, or the swelling, what you get like a minor break, things like that, little fractures, you know. But yeah, like that really. So I've been given this ibuprofen cream, which is this big tubey thing here. I've got to put that on 3 times a day, and I'm waiting for an appointment to go to Wolverhampton. Been to see him. As soon as he saw me hand, he said it is quite badly swollen, like puffy around. So I've got to go to Wolverhampton. They're going to put it under a scanner and just have a look at all the joints and try to see what's going on. But the doctor doesn't think it's related. They're connected with the two. I was just a bit worried that is something going on in my bones that's causing the pain and it's making my muscles tense up, and is it linked to something else a bit more sinister. But so I've had blood tests and they're giving me a full blood count, that sort of stuff, you know. So I'm just waiting for this scan to come out on my hand and see what they can find that way. And then I've got another, he's arranging another appointment for some, it's like a physio, and it's to do with muscles that kind of are damaged from radiotherapy, to try and see if they can do something with the muscles and the movements in them. It's like a specialist with muscles rather than bones, if you like.
Yeah.
But radio tends to attack the bone tissue as well as the muscle tissue. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So it could be a combination of both. No lumps anywhere. I can't feel anything, and he has checks. But you know, I can't just. I said to the doctor, I said when I spoke to the consultant, I told him, he just said, "Oh, it's probably that damage from radiotherapy." And I thought, well, okay, that's okay, but I'd like really proof that yes, that is what it is. I can't just carry on living with this kind of pain. Oh, it's radiotherapy damage, because it might not be.
Yeah.
You know, you can't always just assume because radiotherapy does that.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd rather know. If it is, that's fine. I can live with that, and there's ways I can treat it with regular physio if I have to go to a permanent basis, you know, or you have to keep putting stuff on like the anti-inflammatory cream or medication to try to reduce the swelling. But if it's going to be arthritic, sometimes arthritis, because my mum had it really bad, and it was the one that sort of cripples all your joints up. With me doing what I do, that's not a good place to start off with arthritis in the house.
No, I mean, my wife has psoriatic arthritis, which is like an inflammatory one, which sort of comes and goes, and she takes steroids and has a weekly injection to try and sort of surpass that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, certainly in your line, well, any line of work really, you don't want that sort of arthritis thing going on, do you really? So
no, it's just get a bit difficult, and I don't want it to affect like my hobby either. That's the thing.
Yes.
And it's going to affect the hobby doing what I do with me sort of artwork stuff. That'd be a hard thing to think I can't do that.
Yeah. Is that the pole dance thing, is it, Darren?
Yeah, because I'm right-handed, you see, and I've got in the habit of sort of sticking my legs out and one arm, you know, core muscles and all that.
You might need a little bit more lube on the pole just to make it a little bit
easier. I
easier.
just slip down there, mate, like a fireman, and drunk and fireman, wouldn't I?
But no,
you pair.
You what, Andy?
Said you pair, shocking.
I didn't lower the tone, it was him in the corner. But on the upside, I'll wait. I haven't got any of those done. Not yet.
Hang on. Right, okay.
What's happening?
Right, okay. Let's have some bloody good news. Right, okay.
Right. I've got some good news. What's that?
Go on, Darren. What's the good news? Come on, you built it up now.
Good news is I'm off on holiday on Saturday. Going to Mallorca. 10 days.
How many holidays have you had this year?
I think this is the third one, I think. We're going away for New Year's Eve as well, going to Lanzarote for New Year.
Oh, well, that's it then. Yeah, I tell you what, why don't you just move out there then?
It's too cold for your joints. This is the reason. It's all like medicinal, you know, help.
4 holidays. I can't even get to a sodding beach.
You were going to the beach the other day, and you turned around and come back.
Right. Okay. Hang on a minute. Let me change this.
You could have still gone to the beach.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. Bad news. Yeah.
What's the bad news there?
Well, I haven't been to the sodding beach this year, have I? You going to flipping Lanzarote? I can't even go to the beach. What was the first time? First time I went, yeah, there was an accident on the motorway.
Yeah.
So we had to turn around and come back, and the beach ended up being Trenton Gardens. And then
If I'm not sand there, then did you, mate?
nothing wrong with Trenton Gardens. It's very nice, but there's not a lot of sand there. And then the second
No.
time we tried to go, obviously.
So you took your bucket and spade out for nothing.
And then, yeah, the second time we went up the motorway, and Amy we had a flat tire, and so we had to pull over near Tatton Park on the motorway, and had to get. Have I mentioned this before? Am I going over old news?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So on that day, we're getting up towards junction 19, and then I noticed that the tire didn't feel right, and then it started making that whoop, 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 whoop noise, and I thought, oh god! And then I managed to crawl into one of those little lay-bys that you have with a little orange phone box.
Yeah.
Christ, have you ever tried talking on one of those on a busy motorway?
No.
Now,
I can't hear you.
you can't hear a bloody thing. And then in this day and age, you then have to tell them the number on the box.
Yeah.
In this day and age, is there not some way that they could tell
They
where
don't
the
know.
You
phone
think
is?
it would just flash up, wouldn't you? Which phone it was?
Yeah. So you go like that, and they're like, "What? Sorry." Yeah. It's like, fucking. And then they go, "Okay." So I said, "Right. All I need to do is I need to change the tire." And they said, "Oh, you can't change the tire at the side of the road because you need to have highway, whatever they're called, highway support maintenance or whatever. They have to come." So we had to wait at the side of the road for him to turn up. That would take, and to be fair, it only took him 10 minutes. And he turned up and he pulled up along behind me. And then he says, "Right, you can go on, you can change your tire." So I open up the boot, get the jack out, go to get the wheel brace. Where's the wheel brace? So I haven't got the wheel brace. I don't know. I'm normally quite good at checking stuff like this, but for some reason the wheel brace wasn't in the car. So everything came out the boot. Could we find it? Could we balls? So I then asked the bloke, the highways guy, if I could borrow a wheel brace. No, sorry, can't. We haven't got any equipment in the car. We can't lend you anything. So that was really helpful. So then I had to ring the RAC. And to be fair, the RAC were really good. I don't know if anybody's rang the breakdown service recently, but RAC is pretty much online. It's on your phone now.
Yeah.
So they tell you it's quicker to go online on your phone. So you go on your phone and one thing or another, and you register your breakdown and do all that kind of stuff. And then they give you regular updates on where the patrolman is and how long it's going to take, or patrolwoman is how long it's going to take them to get to you, and they give you updates and stuff. And just that feeling, chaps, when you're responsible for the car, you're responsible for the trip, and the kids are sitting there at the side of the road, and your wife's sitting there at the side of the road, and they're just like going, "Oh, this is crap. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yeah, I know it's crap." And it's like, "Are we going to the beach? I don't know. Hopefully we'll just get a wheel brace, we'll get the wheel changed and get it done." Anyway, he turns up about half an hour later, really, really nice bloke. And I said, "Oh, I'll change the tire." "No, I do it. Leave me alone in the nicest possible way, and I'll change your tire." So he changed the tire, put it on, and then he said the tire was flat. So then he had to put some air in the tire, got the tire up, because the tire was underneath the car, you see. It's not like in the boot. It was one of those cradles underneath. So he puts the wheel on, and he showed me the tire. And have you ever seen it where a tire just completely wears on the one side? So on the outside, it looks absolutely fine, but on the inside, it was all, like the steel metal inside the tire, that was all exposed.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, that needs to be sorted." And he says, "What I've done is I've checked the other side, and that's exactly the same." He says, "You can't. That's going to go any minute now. So you need to get yourself to a tire place." So he managed to follow us up to the motorway, and then we had to find a tire place. And we went to, what's around there? Is it Knutsford? It's Knutsford, isn't it? Knutsford's around there. So yeah, we ended up spending the afternoon in Knutsford. It's quite nice, Knutsford, actually.
Yeah. Plenty of big car garages in Knutsford.
Yeah, it's a posh place, isn't it? There's some money in Knutsford. Yeah. I don't think any men live in Knutsford either. I only saw women.
Oh,
I think it's a women-only town. It was just like women driving around and just like I was just like I didn't see men. I don't know if they're banned or something like that. But I mean, it was just. But no, it was a really, really nice place.
Maybe there's a clue in the name of the place then.
God.
Well, that doesn't mean anything these days, does it? Oh,
I
controversial.
don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll have a look around next time I go to Tittensaw then and see what I see there, more men or women.
Yeah, don't go to Penistone, will you? Yeah, so we spent the afternoon in Knutsford, and that was quite nice. Yeah, we just went round there for a bit. So yeah, I haven't been able to go to the beach this year, so I like a paddle.
So you spent all your ice cream money?
Yeah.
On tyres?
Yeah, spent it all on tyres. But yeah, so I'm not jealous in the slightest. So
you're not jealous. But on the good news.
Oh, we're back on good news. Oh, I'm gonna have to
back on good news. Yeah, back on good news.
Okay, back on the good news. Right, okay. Go on then.
I took my Jag for the MOT this morning.
Yeah.
And it passed. No problems.
Did it?
Yeah. All I've got, one advisory was there's a clip missing on, I think, on a brake pipe, and it's not bolted to the top frame. A little bit of a pipe that runs around to the back. So
okay.
Sort of pretty much nothing really.
Great.
And the washer bottle, well, for the windscreen, the water wasn't coming through there, but he's just got to take the guard off on the inside and just sort that out. He just said, "Well, we can get that sorted out." So it's past the MOT. It's just a case of taking the guard off and then sort it out. So he thinks it's just wire. It looks like it's a wire that's come off on the pump.
Yeah.
So
okay.
so that was really good. Quite pleased with that.
Yeah, fair play. Okay, I'll stick with the theme of good news then.
Yeah.
So I've always had problems trying to get my car for the speedo to work correctly. God knows how it got through an MOT, but yeah, the speedo just wasn't reading right. So, and the speedo works off a speed sensor on the gearbox. So I imagine it's is it the revolutions on the flywheel or something like that? Is that how it? Is it something like it takes a reading or something as that thing spins round? So I managed to replace that sensor. So I put that on, and then I was getting a reading, and it was about 3 times below where it should be. So when I was doing 30, I was doing it said I was doing 10 miles an hour and all that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And I did a little bit of research, and some places they'll do the speedo calibration and that kind of stuff. And then when I tried to reach out to a few people, they were like, "Well, I'm not sure we can do it for your car because it's all kind of analog. It's not digital or anything like that at all." And then I tried to get I was getting in touch with a company in America that do this sort of this module unit that you can program it and that kind of stuff, and they couldn't guarantee that would work. And I went on AliExpress. So I don't know if you've ever been on AliExpress before, but it's just like it's a bit like a cheap Amazon, and I think a lot of the stuff comes from sort of Asia, China and Japan and all that kind of stuff. And I saw this thing; it was called some sort of speedometer module and all this sort of keywords and stuff, and it was 20 quid. And I thought I'll give it a go, and I ordered it. And what you do is you plumb it in between the wiring that comes from your instrument panel to the sensor, and you put it in between. And it's got a couple of buttons, and then you can then program the strength of the signal. So what I was able to do was to increase the signal, and then that increases the signal that goes to the speedo. So when the speedo started reading higher and higher, and then using GPS on my phone, I was able to calibrate it. So when it said I was doing 30 mile an hour on my phone, I was able to get it to work with the speedo. So now the speedo is
bang on.
Nice, really.
Yeah. And I got rid of that knocking noise. Do you remember that knocking noise? It was having a car. I sorted that out as well. That was the trailing arm. The trailing arm wasn't quite seated properly, so I just unbolted it, cleaned it up, put it back in. No more knocking.
Well,
great.
We're getting there now.
Yeah.
I can't get the fuel gauge to work properly yet. but I'm going to have to work on that because it's got two pumps and one pump and two senders.
Yeah.
Because it sits either side of the prop shaft. So if you imagine a bit like a saddle on a horse, you got one side of the tank and you got the other side of the tank. And then when you fill the tank up, you fill it up, and if you fill it up halfway, it fills up half the tank. And then if you put more than half a tank in, it then starts to fill up the other side of the tank. And so it's got two senders and that kind of thing.
Right, okay.
So trying to work out the signals and get that to work with the car, and because obviously it wasn't set up for a fuel tank like that, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to have to try and work that out. So I have a little notepad at the moment, and I right, I've put 20 quid in. How far will that get me? Right, that'll get me about 80 miles, for example. And then every time I get in the car, I knock off how many miles I've done. So I go, right, I must be running quite low now, so I'll put a bit more in. And I've got an emergency can of fuel in the boot as well, just in case. Because I've been
carry that, you'll be fine with it. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, the Rover was a bit like that. It hasn't. When I first got it back, they said that it was the fuel gauge is intermittent. So 1 minute it was up there reading, next minute it just go off. Yeah, and it kept doing that for a bit. Then we took it out for a long run, put some fuel in it, and it went up to 3/4 of a tank, and then slowly it started coming down. But you're always conscious of it then, aren't you? Because it seemed to sit. Like it seemed to take ages to come down, and we were sort of on the motorway as well. And I thought, I'm sure that would have come down more than that by now. But it's a case of like, hey, carry a can with you, just trip the thing and see how many miles you are actually doing, and just keep an eye. So at least you know if it does stay there, then you have got something to put in, haven't you? Yeah. But it's and temperamental they are. I think on the Rovers, them gauges. I had one years ago, it was like that. I did what you did. You used to try to work it out. Right, I'll put 20 quid in, so that'll get me so far. And we was going off to Rosie one day, so we go see him bowling. I said, I'll just stop over on the way, cutting through Newport to his garage. So pull in there, just go and fill up. So I goes up there, gets him, went to fill it up there, put the thing in, really nozzle in, started putting it down. There's about 3 quid of fuel went in, and that was it. It stopped. It was at the top of the tank. I've been going out for weeks, topping it up because it really gauge. It constantly said I've got a quarter tank of fuel in the car. Yeah, I had what was in it. No.
Oh, cool. At least you weren't running it low. That's good. That's all right.
Yeah. That's right, mate. Yeah.
I've got a couple of things that we could talk about. I was going to talk about my version of Top Trumps that I found earlier. So we can either talk about that, or we could talk about, I don't know if we talked about this before, but what your earliest experience, your earliest memory is of a car. I can't remember if we'd done this before. If we talked
earliest memories of a car.
Yeah, I mean,
from like your parents, you mean, or
anything really. I don't know why it popped in my head, but a while ago I was thinking, what's my first memory of a car, and it wasn't my dad's car. It was an orange Mark II Escort Mexico that used to live over the road, and that is my first ever memory of a car. I can't think of anything sooner than that, and I just think that's not a bad car for your first memory, is it really?
No.
I mean, that's well, obviously it's a Ford, so it's a great memory to start with, but at least
you've been brainwashed from a very early age.
But what if it had been like I don't know, like a Triumph Acclaim or an Austin Maxi? I mean, what could that have changed? Morris Ital, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't turn into a horror film, isn't it?
I was just wondering what your memories are, whether you can remember what the first.
Earliest memories of the car, I would think not that I had any idea what it was. All I remember was it was black and very shiny, and lots of chrome in it, which I didn't realise what chrome was then because I was quite young. And it was my dad's car, and my dad's trade was a metal polisher. So he obviously had all these bits off, had everything re-chromed on this car. And I'm going back now when I was, I don't know, probably, I must have been between 8 and 10, something like that. And I always remember we used to use it as a plaything. And he looked out the bedroom window one day, kept on hearing all this noise, and we was running on the back of it because it had like a big chrome bumpers with like a little step going back to the car. We was on there, on the boot, over the roof, across the bonnet and down in front of the car. So my memories was this big black thing. I think it was a Wolseley, I think, or something like that. Great big chrome thing. That was my very first memories of a car.
And you were climbing all over it.
We was running over the top and playing tick, like that, sort of catch each other around the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wasn't very pleased when he got back. I don't remember. I don't know what happened after that. I just remember running over this car.
Yeah. You probably blacked out at that point when he got hold
Yeah.
of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy? Can you remember?
Yeah, so like when I was, I don't know, I was young. My next door neighbour, Mr. Roper, he used to have he used to have a Mark 1 Fiesta.
Should we call him George?
Yeah, I just remember seeing it. He used to wait. Used to go up the shop. Used to see him coming up there on this Fiesta. Just remember him having a Fiesta, and like over the years, he kept having Fiestas as they moved up in. Yeah, so that's what I remember when I was young. That's a Ford as well, eh? So,
there you go, mate. So what happened? Something happened. You must have had a traumatic moment in your life that you suddenly switched.
I take him away from the
one of it. It wasn't his son. I think it was his son. It was his son's cousin or something like that. He used to come around in a Mark 1 Nova SR in the light blue.
Yeah,
it used to be parked on the front as well. And I was like, just lovely cars. And obviously, yeah.
So you saw the light then, mate, really?
Yeah. So I was, yeah. Yeah. That's what
brought you back to the dark side.
Novas, you see.
Novas were one of those few cars where 3-spoke alloys look good on them, I reckon.
Yeah. I don't know many other.
Saab 900.
Saab
900.
Oh, yeah, Saab, yeah. There's only one car, I think, for them 3-spokes. Personally, that is a Saab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they fetch good money, they do. Got a set of them.
Really?
13s or 14s, are they? 14s, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
SR wheels, yeah. Yeah. Obviously, can't get on mine, it's got big brakes, but big wheel to get over.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So they did a Nova SR in a light blue then, did they?
Yeah, so it was, they called it something, but it was a Mark 1 Nova SR with the big headlights on the front.
Yeah.
So it was like a silvery bluey colour. I'll find out what it is and I'll let you know. And
you would have had the dark vinyl along the
so
bottom of the door
vinyl on the bottom with that colour on the top. With used to have the boot spoiler that went along the top and down the sides.
Yeah.
As well. And the back was grey as well. Was it? Yeah, I think it was grey because it had 1.3 SR in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go. Earliest memories then. Okay, we've got time. I'll introduce you to supercars. It's not called Top Trumps, it's called Ace Trumps. So it's just a rip-off. And I thought, okay, I'll start it off then. So, gents, if I said to you a supercar, what would you say a supercar is? What defines a supercar? Because these are called supercars.
Yeah.
So what's a supercar? What criteria has it got to have?
Well, if you see supercars advertised somewhere, they're kind of really sort of, well, every show I've been to and they said they've got a supercar stand, they've all just been full of things like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and like almost on racing spec but on a road car.
So like that then. So you've got like a Chevrolet Corvette, yeah? You've got a Aston Martin V12 Vantage, yeah? We've got a Porsche 911 GT3, yeah? We're on the right lines, yeah? So, okay. If I could change tact a bit now. So if I was to have a look through this pack and see what other supercars we've got, a BMW 535 supercar, it gets better.
Not me.
A Mercedes S320 CDI.
For supercar.
Yeah, it gets better. A VW Passat.
What?
Jesus. Is that an R line
These-
or something like
These are
that?
these are supercars. These are. Okay. We got a VW Scirocco.
No, that's not what I would.
This is my
Was this
favourite.
like a? Was this a cheap copy of them back in the day, or is this something that's just been made now?
Well, it's relatively recent because you'll tell by this car. But this is a supercar. Are you ready? Yeah.
Go on.
A Renault Laguna coupe.
Nah.
What's that?
Where did you have them from?
I don't know.
Don't say Home and Bargain or B&M.
Oh, I don't know. But can you just imagine in that meeting for Ace Trumps? You're sitting in a meeting room and you've got like your marketing team around you, and they're like, right, okay, we need to compete with top trumps. What are we going to do? I know, we'll do supercars. Great, brilliant, fantastic. Right, at what point were they in that meeting and somebody said, does anyone?
I think that's
Laguna.
what we're going to have. Boom, 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 boom. There they are.
Yeah. So Darren started off with the Ferrari. I'd be thinking Lamborghini. I'd be thinking Porsche, Lotus, whatever.
Yeah.
At what point did somebody ask somebody to go, has anyone considered the Renault Laguna?
Oh no.
This is what is in a supercar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine playing that now? So okay, so you've got the Passat, right?
What's the top speed of that last guy you said? The Laguna one.
The Laguna. Oh mate, oh, bear with me, caller. I got so excited, I've lost it now. The Laguna top. Oh, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? How fast?
130.
152.
That anywhere near?
152, right? And apparently the Passat is quicker. Who the hell's done 155 mile an hour in a Passat?
No way.
That's
no.
That is
155 miles an hour. I mean, I do like cars and I love cars, but I must be so out of touch if a Passat can do that kind of speed. I mean, yeah, could you imagine playing that now? So you'd be like, right, okay, what car have you got? But no, you'd say, oh, you don't. You say what it is, don't you? So you go like, okay, I'll go, I don't know, maximum speed 155. And then you're up against that for GT. You've got a Passat or a Renault. I mean, what would the Renault Laguna win on? Is there
what are they saying then that the GT can do?
They're saying that the Ford GT can do 202 miles an hour. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. I mean, what pissing chance have you got with the bloody Renault Laguna? What's that going to win on?
What's the 0 to 60 in the Laguna?
I've lost it again. How can I lose it? At 7.4 seconds.
The fortnight.
I think the GT's tearing them on one of them bungee ropes. And
Yeah.
The Scirocco takes 9.5 seconds. What sort of pissing supercar is that?
10-second car to 60 miles an hour. Oh man.
Yeah. I think but these are supercars.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what would be in hypercars then if you bought Ace hypercars?
Oh, that'd probably be Datsun Cherry or something like that. Oh, yeah. Everything else is around about 4 or 5 seconds. 4 or 5, 7.8. It's like I don't know whether it's to do with the brand or the marketing or something like that, or Renault.
Is there a Mondeo in there?
You what? Sorry.
Is there a Mondeo in there?
No.
Yeah.
No, that would be in the Repmobiles
Is
top
the
trumps.
Carlton
Really?
in there? The Vauxhall Carlton?
No,
Latest one.
no. You got an Audi Audi S5, BMW M3, the Renault Laguna. If you want another look at it, what a beautiful car that is.
Let me see the BM one.
You want to see the? Oh, you're a Beamer man, aren't you? Yeah. There you go. Oh, hang on. Where's your camera? Hang on. There you go.
That's it.
So
E90.
Is that what it is? Is it?
I think it could be. Yeah.
I don't know. They all look bloody same, don't they?
Yeah.
There you go. What's that one down the bottom? What's that? Revolution. Oh, revs. 8,300. Laguna 6,000 revs.
They do 155 mile an hour, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. They're going to do 155 mile an hour. But they put the bloody Renault Laguna in there. I mean, obviously I don't understand. I don't get it. Why'd you put a Scirocco in? Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you.
That's pretty good. That was, mate.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to find out some more. See if I can find any. I mean, I might just have to revise what I'm.
How much did you pay for that pack of cards?
I don't know.
I'd like to know where you bought them from, Marwood.
I don't know. I don't know where I've got them from. It's I need to find some more, don't I? Yeah, like say, Andy, I'll have to get hypercars and sort of maybe there's like maybe you can get like I don't know, family cars and towing cars and tip run cars and things like that. How much crap you can get in the boot. Right. Well, how are we doing for time? I don't know how long with this fast has been. Oh yeah, we've only got a couple of minutes, and then we're going to get kicked off.
Couple of minutes. Did you put anything on before? Anything going on about the charity that we did and what we raised?
Yeah.
I put on charity, didn't I? Was it £183? Yeah.
We did really well there, gents. We should be very proud. We did really well.
Ellie sent it in, and they sent an email saying thank you very much. Did I send you the?
Yeah. I just wonder whether you might have put anything on here, Aid, on the podcast or.
No, I haven't done actually.
Yeah.
Now that I've got a little bit more time on my hands at the moment, I might be able to sort of.
Yeah, it's just let anyone that might be listening let them know that what we did, and how much we raised. Yeah. This is all part of what we're doing all this for.
Yeah, and anybody who did take part on the day and put some money towards us, so thank you very, very much. It's just reminded me I still need to reach out to one of the competition winner. I still haven't contacted them, so I'll sort that out and I'll make sure they can get their prize.
Yeah, because I went to see Titch the other day, said nobody's turned up who won. I was like, yeah, well, I think they're on about doing it next year, not this year. Yeah. All right, no worries.
Fair enough. But very, very quickly before we go, you're driving now, aren't you, Andy?
I'm driving now, yeah. But I do need to come over and see you pair before the end of this month.
Yeah, I think that'd be. I didn't know if we could probably get together one day, one weekend or something, or whatever, and we go for a drive one day, find somewhere nice, have a bite to eat or whatever.
Yeah,
obviously Judith Chalmers won't be available for a couple of weeks, but when she gets back, maybe we could have a little drive or something. But
yeah,
definitely.
After the end of this, I'm gonna park it up for the winter.
Yeah. I think we might get a little bit of warm weather in the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to get like an Indian summer or something, apparently, allegedly.
Yeah.
I'll leave it a month before I cancel the tax then.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for the summer all summer. It's not come, has it, really? I've had a couple of nice days, but
it's been a bit all over the shop, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, we've got 30 seconds, gents. So I'm going to bring this to a close. Thanks for cheering me up. I've had a bit of a crappy couple of days, so appreciate the chat. And apologies to Ace Trumps. I'm sure they have other great products available.
I'll get in touch with you, to see what's going on with the other ones.
Yeah.
That's enough of this nonsense. Right. Have a good evening, gents. We'll speak again soon.
Good night, lads.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you again soon.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye.